Namaskar, everyone. Welcome to day 25. Yesterday I tried to bring to your awareness your subtle energy anatomy, the anatomy of your sukshma sharir. So just to remind you that the physical body is only a vehicle, a fleshy covering, product of nature, prakriti. You are the immortal soul. All the memories of the life experiences stay within your soul being, in the akash, the memory field. Every memory, so long as you were attentive, so long as you were conscious, so long as you cognized it, it stays within you. And those that stay strongly within you, we call them samskaras, or deep impressions. So you could walk down a street with so many people, but only a few faces would have stuck with you. You would have, though the eye would have registered so many, but your mind would have only been stuck on a few. Those kind of strong impressions of events and people, they're called samskaras. And they're what stay with you. And through your experiences, you develop what is called vasanas, inherent tendencies, the tendencies you have. So those stay in your consciousness as patterns. And they wrap all your chakra energies into them. Whichever chakra was involved, it's wrapped into that experience, that memory, those patterns of ego. Because the ego is the one who's cognizing. So these are stored in your subtle body, your sukshma sharir. And when you become a little more aware of that subtle body, then you can feel where they are. And you can feel how they are influencing you, how they're resonating in your being or vibrating in your being. So that's why we ask you to become more conscious, so that you can feel the areas of where you're uncomfortable, the areas that are resonating or vibrating with these energies, and some you're not aware of, but you have this bad feeling in your gut, or feeling in your heart, or feeling in your mind, in your thoughts, in your mind. You have these negative feelings or positive feelings, and they're deep inside. But you can't make them out. You can't really understand them fully. And then you may need a therapist, you may need a doctor, you may need a psychologist or psychiatrist. Because you can't see it, and they would have studied these things and they can tell you a little more about it. But it's nice when you can become your own therapist and your own doctor. You have that power. So you have an amazing field or anatomy of intelligence. Every chakra is a center of intelligence. It picks up information from the outside, brings it to the mind. And the mind can act upon it and channel through any one of these. So these chakras are also centers of channeling, receiving information, and also transmitting. Transmitting not just to the body, but to also the environment. And from those chakra energies that you develop, you have what is called an aura. It's a magnetic field, as it were. Electromagnetic field. It is filled with energy. And if your energy is dark, if you have dark patterns in your chakras, and of course, when I say chakras, I mean at the mind. These are dark patterns in the mind associated with different chakras. The mind is the cognizer, the ego, the one who processes, the one who thinks, the one who channels. But not the mind, the ego, but ego through the mind. The mind is a faculty it uses. So they are centers of power. You can channel energies through them. They are centers of intelligence. You can learn through the information that comes from them. And they are centers of consciousness. At every one of these centers, the ego has an experience, a conscious experience of an energy field. So these centers of consciousness can be expanded so you can see more, be aware of more of your energies. And in the development of your knowledge, you have a deeper understanding of your energy nature, your energy field, your energy anatomy, that field of intelligence, that field of power, that field of consciousness. You have more awareness as you expand, and you cannot expand without a desire to expand, without a curiosity, and without a grace. You cannot expand. So when we operate in low consciousness, we are channeling low power. When we operate with little knowing, we channel dark power without knowing. We may slowly ruin our own field and the field of others because we are also transmitting through our aura and through our intentions. We are transmitting in the space. We are transmitters of energy. You put somebody in a space and see what happens. They can create havoc in the space depending on who the person is. They can create toxicity in the space because we carry these energies of transmission. And if they operate in low consciousness, then we're in trouble. Low consciousness is tamas, the veil consciousness. And the more and more we open up the centers to light, the more and more our behavior becomes refined, the more and more understanding we have of this energy, of this power we wield, and the more our behavior becomes more sattvic, more harmonious, more pure. And the lower the consciousness, the more dark our behavior may be. So this is a yuga where tamas, the quality of darkness, is still prevalent. And rajas, ego. You can see it on the world stage. How many of our leaders are really humane, really caring about unity across the globe, really caring about love and compassion and kindness towards every living thing on the planet, not only human beings, but every living thing? How many of our leaders, so you see how rajas and tamas, ignorance and willpower and activity, rajas. So now you know why I don't fret about the world stage, right? Because it's a play. I try to understand the world stage, and I try to channel energies to those who need it. Not to the ones who are bullish and trying to manipulate and wreck the stage. No. I send the energies to the ones who are challenged so that they grow stronger. May those who are good become stronger. And may those who are dark get more understanding. Get more understanding. May they learn through the pain and misery that they are creating in the world. May they become aware, because that's the goal, for us to become aware. Now, with respect to these centers, you understand that the seventh center is a destination. You cannot will from there. Well, you cannot will with there, but you could will from there. Every other center is centered there, in the crown. So you can will from a crown, but you can will with the others. The crown is infinite consciousness. So that's the destination. So we speak about shed chakras, 6 chakras, that we can channel through. The most powerful, you can guess, the mind. The mind carries the ego, the mental field, rather. Because the mind is an instrument in that mental field. Manas. So the most powerful chakra is the mind. It is the mind where we develop thoughts and images and desires and patterns. And then the other chakras, they accompany this. So the driving chakra, the main chakra, that's why we say this is Agya, the chakra of command, the chakra of the central command. Agya chakra. So we channel through there. If you hold your body, your own body in a field of strong awareness of well-being, guess what happens? You create well-being within the body. Because all these body cells are held in this strong mental field of prana. And when that field holds the awareness of well-being, like we do in Wu Chi, or we do in Yog Nidra, or we do in some of these other things, we are holding the field, or Shavasana, we are holding the field, a corpse position in yoga, posture. We are holding the field in sattvic consciousness of well-being, harmony, light. Just that simple act of staying in the field of light with your mind can create healing in the body. In the Qigong, in the Tao, they would stay still for an hour. Normal breathing, just holding the entire body in the field of light. Wu Chi, original Chi, it stays in the original Chi. Not in the movement of Chi, but in the stillness of Chi. In the Yog Nidra, it's the same. So we need to learn how to use this major center. So it's a transmitting center, it's a center of learning as well. Remember that the brain is only an instrument. The brain is not the doer in the field. It's not the ego. And if the consciousness is low, then it's operating the brain in only part of the brain. Because we have limbic part, we have reptilian part of the brain, behave like animals. We have limbic part of the brain, animals too, emotions. Emotion is the limbic part of it. And the neocortex is where the intelligence is. So we have a big neocortex. The brain has evolved so that the soul can express more qualities. So when there is more consciousness, more of the brain is used. So the brain this body is a masterful instrument for growing in consciousness. And the field that is provided for us is intelligently provided by the universe to help us transform. Because the field is orchestrated by the prarabdha karma, the karmas we have come to work out. That's how the field is orchestrated. Everything in the field, perfectly orchestrated. You can imagine a universal intelligence. It will not create anything with limitation. It will create a play of transformation, of evolution. That everything in this stage, where you were born, what time you were born, that you may have the right planetary mix influencing you. Who was the mother? Who was the father? Who are the siblings? The country, the resources, everything is perfectly orchestrated for your evolution. You don't need to look far. You need just to look at your stage and understand it. And you'll find your purpose right there. So this mental field is primary. It is a primary field of intelligence. And you have two other major fields of intelligence: the heart, emotional intelligence, picking up information from the outside, channeling heart energy into the space. And you have the gut center of intelligence, picking up everything that is happening from the realm of body, physical, the physical world, the vital world of the physical, the energy, vitality of the physical world. You pick up that with your gut. So when you come into a space with gut awareness, you pick up everything in the environment, whether there's fear in the bodies of people, whether there's fear in the environment and it pertains to physical, you'll pick it up here. Or whether there's strength in the physical field, you'll pick it up here. This is the area of fire, water, and earth. This is the area of air. This is the area of space. So they are finer mediums. So you have 3 centers of intelligence through which you channel every day. How are you channeling? Poorly? If your knowledge is poor, if your understanding is poor, if your willpower is weak, how are you going to channel anything? So you need more awareness, you need more intelligence, you need more consciousness. You need more willpower that is developed to channeling power. And you need more stability in these centers. If I have this glass and I want to pour water in it and my hands are doing like that, what will happen to the water? But if I hold this glass sturdy and I pour water, wouldn't that be a better experience? So when I hold my body sturdy at the root, having become aware of energy of root and its connection to the earth, when I hold my body steady there, then I can channel energy to the body. So when you're doing Wuchi or Yog Nidra, you have to stay in the awareness of the body and revitalize the body so the body stays still. Hence the need for the lower. It grounds you to the earth. It helps you to refocus the reproductive power into health, into well-being. Not just for pleasure, but also for vitality. That area influences the bone and the health, this lower area of root and sacral. And it creates a passion in the body, this root chakra and the sacral chakra. It gives the body a passion for working with it. So this sexual chakra is not just for reproduction, but bringing us a beautiful vitality into the body. So when your awareness is more sattvic, when you have more awareness, and you can feel the guna of sattva, you begin to see the beauty of that chakra. But if you're in Rajasthan Tamas, you don't see that beauty. You see the other the pleasure. So you get more of the second chakra with more sattva. You get more of the root chakra with more sattva. So we need to appreciate the qualities of the gunas and how they affect our awareness, how they affect our channeling, and how they affect our grounding, how they affect our relationships to the world, how we channel energy in exchanges, and how we exchange energies with others, or synergize, or communicate. It's extremely exciting when you begin to touch the inner world and you begin to see the qualities, but you need to develop the centers of intelligence. You need to develop the mental center, mental power, the emotional power, the gut power. You need to develop it. You need to, through grace, have more consciousness, and I've been telling you how to do that. Find the edge, be curious, open up yourself, and that's how the consciousness will open up. It's meant to open up. We are programmed to evolve, to open up. And you can only do that through your pure desire, a healthy desire to really grow and to be a blessing. So when you have mastered the field, you are able to channel energy through the heart, through the gut, through every chakra, through the brow, thought energy, heart energy, emotional energy, vital energy of the core. And you're able to do it responsibly and with strength, grounded, and your aura becomes large and more consciousness, and you can influence a field. a larger field. That's the power you have. You don't have to beg the divine for anything. You have to just become aware of what you have and how to uncover it. That's the responsibility. And that's the joy of living. When I came out of the 40 days, it was a whole new being. I began to feel the insides of people. I began to feel my transmitting power more. My God, I could touch somebody inside. I realized the power was so much more huge. And the ego just went away. The ego was simply an instrument of this divine power called Kundalini. So it's extremely important to be able to observe every level of being. But these three major levels of gut, that's navel, heart, and mind, brow, they're extremely important in the field. And when you are in a field like what we provide, this co-created field, it has the potential to help you to grow in your awareness. You cannot have a better field than this. So do you see the opportunity you have? Do you see the gift that you have? Unwrap it. And use it. Because in using it, you feel purposeful and fulfilled. So we're going to continue more on this subject. Because learning how to channel from sattva, learning how to refine the senses, learning how to see more, learning how to clean the chakras. And clean the chakras doesn't mean you need to get a broom and sweep, or water and wash. It means you need to introspect, you need to look, examine, and see where the behavior is tamasic, where the thoughts are tamasic, where the desires are tamasic, they're in low consciousness, and begin to have a vision of the higher. And begin to clean up every one of the chakras in your behavior, in your awareness. And all the opportunities are just around you to do that in practice. Now, analyze yourself today in the meditation. Look for the sattvic qualities where they feature most. The sattvic qualities, the qualities of light, is it in the heart? Is it that my heart is seeking to open up more? Is it my mind that is seeking more intelligence and knowing? Is it my gut that needs some kind of transformation? It needs more fire, more power, more strength? And go there. Use the breath there. And then find the inner guide there to support you through intuition. Graceful flow. The moment you find the inner guide, you will enjoy exploring the inner world. Don't do it without a guide. Don't do it with just your own mind. Look for the inner guide. And you will experience that more through the intuition. Because you cannot look with your own opinions and ideas. You have to look with an open mind to learn. With the innocence of a child. Let's go within, everybody, into meditation. Let's slowly come back into the consciousness of the body. Breathe more oxygen into the lungs. Revitalize the body so that the senses can be energized to be active in the world again. And do so with respect to the body. Go with it, with its natural instincts to breathe. Breathe in harmony with the body. See what the body needs. Become a little bit more aware. See which area needs more attention. Is it the gut area that you want to breathe maximally through, or the heart? Or lift the shoulders and breathe fully into the lungs? So I test my body system before to see what it needs. And then I use various techniques of the breath. It's just to do the breathing that's required to bring the body back into aliveness. It opens up the sense of smell and taste and touch and hearing and seeing. They all become heightened. And you also become more aware of the elements around you. The earth is right beneath you. Air is around you. Fire is around you. Light and heat. Spaces around you. And let's breathe out. Let's breathe out and breathe in to chant Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. That's a great exercise for the lungs and for the voice. As you enter your day of activity, Observe whether you're channeling consciously or unconsciously. Your mind energy, your mind power, your emotional power, the vital power, how are you channeling? Of course, when you get into a relationship with others and you get caught up in the speaking, in the listening, in the acting, you forget all about that. And if you get into a low consciousness activity, well, your channeling is going to be likewise. And if you get in a high consciousness activity, your channeling will be likewise. How about making every one of your exchanges with life high consciousness activity? How about that? Channeling your positive thoughts, your beautiful wishes and thoughts for others. They feel it. It's your transmitter. And if you have a relationship with the receiver, they will feel it. Even if they don't consciously feel it, they'll be unconsciously influenced. And observe in the channeling of mental energy, emotional energy, love. Well, hopefully love. You might have hostility there, you might have a little bit of aggression there, a little bit of anger there, a little bit of irritation there, or love, understanding, compassion. Observe how the emotions are featuring in all your exchanges. And observe what it's doing to the body's vital system when you're channeling. Is it keeping your body vital? Are you energized by the activity? Are you energized by the exchange? Do you feel more powerful in it? Or do you feel more weak? When somebody tells you something, that you become weak automatically. Oh my God, what are they saying to me? Totally affected. Or when you want to be better than the other person. You want to speak louder than them because they're speaking too loud to you. You want to show more anger than what they are showing. You want to show more irritation than what they're showing. And you get into a tussle that is dangerous. No. Learn to operate from Sattva. More understanding, more compassion, more non-violence in every form. Learn to channel what the world needs today. Everybody needs it, whether they know it or not. And those who are channeling aggression, you just surround them with even more love and understanding. That's the way of the wise, not the way of the ignorant. Ignorant will react. How are you channeling today? How are you using your knowledge today? Are you operating in low knowledge or higher knowledge? How are you using your will today to will more egotistic things into space, selfish, or more selfless motives, actions? How are you using it? And what is it doing to my body? Is it making my body a more fit instrument for channeling? How is my vitality? How is my core? How does my body feel in the event? Does its vibrations also help me to use the other powerful channeling centers? Is my emotion held, when it's been channeled, held in the fire of the vital power that is continuously recharging the emotion? Or is my mind held in the vital power of the core that is keeping my mind firm? You can't imagine the power of the core to support every other chakra. How beautiful this subject is. Mainly so because it's highly practical. And it applies in every situation, whether you're sitting still or whether you're active. It applies to that. How are you channeling? Even when you sit, how are you channeling energies to restore your body in the sitting? How are you engaging more of the parasympathetic system rather than the sympathetic system of will? Active, egotistic will. How marvelously we have been designed. The physical body and the subtle body, how marvelously we have been designed to be souls of light. Our touch should be a touch of light. Our words should be words of light. Our actions should be actions of light. We've been designed to fill the world with light. To promote more harmony and goodwill across the world. Synergy. That's what the world needs. And you don't have to go to Ukraine to prove that you want to help your neighbor next door, your pet, the plant that is struggling that you have forgotten to water. Life abounds around you. And do you need to kill to eat? Do you need to harm another creature and create pain just to feed your body? Do you need to be violent? Think about it. Think about it. Have a blessed day, everyone. Namaskar.